Shalom and welcome to another installment of Apostle GMS, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. Today's topic is going to be entitled News, Current Events and Prophecies. And that pretty much says it all, the times that we're living in. You can see that the end is fast approaching. Give me Habakkuk 2. And you can read that and break that down.
All right, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and I'll start at verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Now it says for the word tower, there's a precept that says fenced place. Now the word fenced place basically is a place, a hedge, where you have a hedge for protection. Whenever you went to a city, they had a wall around the city, and that city would keep out intruders, it would keep out the enemy. And then on the corners, usually on the corners of those walls, you had watchtowers. And those watchtowers were set up there for the men that would be watching to see when the enemy was coming. And if they saw the enemy coming or some type of danger, they would blow the trumpet, and that trumpet would give warning to the people inside of the city to get prepared for an invasion or whatever the case may be. So now the Lord is comparing the prophets to those watchmen. And the towers represent, everything you see out here prophecy-wise that's going on. And the job of the prophet was to, when they see these things happening, to report it to the people so that they can get ready. So that's what's happening right now, It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. So whatever the Lord says unto us, scripture-wise, when you see like an article or some type of story or something going on, pertaining to the scriptures, you're supposed to make it known. Go to the scriptures, break down the scriptures, bring out the article, bring out the different points, on there, to get the people prepared for the things that are coming. It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So the ones that took heed or take heed, when the time comes, they're going to be taken care of. They're going to be straight. But the ones that are not taking heed, when the time comes, they're going to be taken. Like Yahweh Shai said, when you see the abomination that maketh desolate, stand where it ought not, then flee ye everyone out of Jerusalem. Don't come back. Don't take your stuff, just leave. Flee to the mountains. In other words, flee for refuge. Because those were the days that were spoken of before, during the time of Daniel, that vengeance was coming. And that's the same thing right now. When you see things like martial law and the FEMA troops and the military all up in the cities, you know that there's something about to go down. You see the FEMA trains and the FEMA coffins and different things that they're getting ready for an insurrection, of the people and to contain people. That these things are getting close. All right. And those that are prepared are gonna, they're gonna be brace themselves, so to speak, for what's coming. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So although it seemed like at one point it seemed like it wasn't happening, now you're seeing the prophecy speaking. You're seeing all different type of information on the microchip, which is the mark of the beast. You see all different type of information on these FEMA camps and the things that they plan on doing. You see it all over the place. You can walk in some of these major cities and you see policemen dressed in fatigues, with badges, with machine guns, walking and patrolling certain neighborhoods, or patrolling certain places like Penn Station and other places like that. And I'm sure that there's other places within your cities where you'll see these military or these police dressed in military fatigues. And the military and the police are joining forces together because they know that something big is about to come. You know, they've been planning this thing and they've been pushing people to the edge. You know, they've been trying and practicing different things around the world. You know, like down in Venezuela right now, it's all different type of shit going on down there. People are turning to eating their dogs, and cats, pigeons, and whatever else they can get their hands on. And these things are trial runs.
You know what's ironic? The average Negro doesn't know what's going on down in Venezuela because they're not watching. They're concerned about the next concert, the next Jay-Z concert or Beyonce concert or the playoffs or what's, you know, talking about going down to the Rooker. You know, if you live in New York, you know about the Rooker, all right? Or, you know, concerned about things that have nothing to do with the scriptures because they don't know that they're in the last days.
The president says the blackouts aren't.
That's right, and see that's why the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh said, look, watch as well as pray. What are you supposed to be watching for? The things that are coming. He gave us signs, you know, of things that he was going to be doing. There's a scripture in the gospel where it says, you know, you fools, you can discern the sky when there's lowering if it's going to be a wise. Right. A matter of fact, let me pull it up. You know.
And while you get there, let me just read this right quick. I feel the spirit coming up in me right now. This is you know what? Let me go before that. Let me go to Isaiah. See, you Jakes out there, you people that watch us on YouTube that think this is a joke, that you just have fun scoffing and talking shit. When the so-called shit hits the fan, you're not gonna know what to do. You know? Hold up now, I just want to read this. Okay, it says, Isaiah 42, verse 9, it says, because we're in the time of the end, you know, whether you know it or not. And just because you don't know it or you don't see it, that doesn't mean the Most High is going to wait for you to get it in your head that you can see it. The Most High is going to do what he set out to do in his time. He's not waiting for you. It says, Isaiah 42, verse 9, it says, you know what, I'm gonna jump up a couple of verses above that. Let me start at 6, okay? This is Isaiah 42, verse 6. It says, I, Yahweh, have called thee in righteousness. So who has he called in righteousness? He called the elect first and the rest of Israel. And we already know that the rest of Israel is not going to get it. We know, we can see that. That's evident, all right? It says, I, Yahweh, have called thee in righteousness and will hold thine hand and will keep thee and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles. Now, the word Gentiles is also talking about Israelites. But you have a lot of Israelite groups, they'll look at that word Gentile and they'll say it's talking about the other nations because the Most High haven't opened up their eyes to the true understanding of the scriptures. All right? It says 7, it says to open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. It's not talking about the Lord's going to the prison, the federal prison system, and saving them. It's not going to save us. We're all in the prison. This is a spiritual prison. It says, because you had Jakes that Israelites that went back to the land of Israel, and they're still in the prison. They're under the orders of the Edomites that claim to be Jews. And they have to get this, you know, they have to register as citizens, and they have to fight. If there's a war, those Israelites, the real Israelites, Jakes, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, if there's any type of war, do you know the men and the women, they have to fight side by side with that devil? So you wasn't supposed to go back to Israel. It says, open the blind eyes to bring out the prisoners from the prison. And anywhere we are on the planet, we are in this prison, this house of darkness. 8, I am Yahweh, that is my name. And my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. It says, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. So the flood was, at one time, the flood was a prophecy. Noah had prophesied that there was going to be a flood, and it came. So we already know it's no longer prophecy because it came to pass. Before Egypt, so-called Egypt, Mizraim went down, the Most High set up Moses, Aaron, and Joshua, all right? And there were other men, there were like the 70 elders, and there were other men that were set up in power, but the Most High dealt with Moses, Aaron, and Joshua. He mainly dealt with Moses first, and he said, Aaron, your brother, your older brother, will be your prophet. And he told Moses that he's gonna make him a god before the Pharaoh, the king at that time. And it was prophesied. Now you got Jakes out there saying that it never happened, all right? Well, we know it happened because it's in the scriptures, because we believe in the scriptures, all right? And we're not going to have a debate to show you that, and we're not going to do a thing showing that the children of Israel, they had cities in Egypt, but you go to watch the video and you got to pay $15. You know about that. Johanna got a video up on it, and you got to pay $15 on YouTube to watch it, show you where his mind at, you know? And I know my man, Captain Tazariak, ain't sleeping too good these lately. He sees right through the bullshit, man, you know? But anyway, that came to pass, all right? The Most High put the Spirit on Moses, and ancient Egypt, so to speak, because that's not the real name, that's a Greek word, came down. And other things happened. The Greeks came into power. The Babylonians, the Most High spoke of the Babylonians ruling over us for 70 years. He spoke about Alexander the Greek, and he spoke about the Roman Empire. So all those things came to pass. So now new things the Most High declared. So we're speaking about the new thing. And the new thing that's on top of the list is that microchip, which seems like these Israelite groups can't understand it. And it's in their face right now, you know? And these other Israelite groups that follow those leaders, those false leaders, they kind of see it, they kind of creep to our video, and they kind of see it, but they got to go with their leader. Well, your leader's going to cause you to be destroyed, you know? Is that if the blind leadeth the blind, both shall fall into a ditch. And that's what's going to happen.
To track his every movement. There's actual
Let me read on.
about that. You will rule on that. Mark my words before your tenure is over.
Mark my words, huh? More like
I am Yahweh,
Even though
that
it
is my
called a
name,
tattoo,
and my
there is
glory
no
will I
need
not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. And then it goes on to say, sing unto Yahweh a new song. And that's what we're doing. We're singing a new song. And his praise from the end of the earth, and we're on the other side of the earth, all right? Ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants therefore. And that's all I'm going to read on that.
Okay, this is the book of Matthew chapter 16, verse 1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. Like Apostle Tar was saying earlier, you know, you have things going on right now in Venezuela that are going to be coming up here, and you have the average Jake out here that's blind to it. They have
Due
no
to a
clue
severe
or no
drought
idea
caused by
what's
the
going on. They
unusual
don't even know
weather
where
pattern.
Venezuela
Here's a look
is.
at the drought
They never even
conditions.
heard
You
of the
can see
name
that darker
Venezuela.
shading of red for
It says,
northern
he
Venezuela.
answered and said unto
Exceptional
them,
drought conditions.
when it is evening,
The
you
two-day
say it will
work
be
week
fair
is
weather,
already
for the
disrupted
sky is
life
red.
for many.
And in the morning it will be foul
Edgar
weather
Quevedo
today,
learned the
for the
hard way
sky is
when he
red
tried
and
to
lowering.
renew his
O
passport.
ye
No
hypocrites,
government
you can
employees.
discern the face of the sky,
I'm disappointed
but
and
can you not
angry, he
discern the
says,
signs
for
of the
systematically
time
destroying the
of the
country.
times? Why? Because that's the
Daily
things that are
life
happening
for the
right now.
average
And
Venezuelan
Yahweh
goes
Shai
well
said that
beyond
these things are going to be
inconveniences.
happening before he came. Did not he tell his disciples asked him, what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And he started breaking down to them the things that were going to be taking place just before he came back. There was going to be wars, rumors of wars,
Add to that
uproars
the
of the
highest
people. There were going to be
inflation rate in
famines,
the world,
earthquakes in
which has
diverse
made the
places,
Bolivar,
and all these
local
things are
currency,
happening.
lose
And everything else
98%
that
of
was
its
written
value
of
in the
is
black market.
in some
Since
form
Maduro
or
took
another is
office
in the
in
news, or
2013.
coming to
Romo,
pass.
CNN.
You know, as we speak and as each day goes by. You know, so it says, a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. So we're at the point now where these prophecies that the Lord spoke of are starting to come to pass. That's why we read this first scripture we read was Habakkuk 2 and verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. An appointed time means there was a set time that was set apart that these things were going to be happening. And the Lord gave us the different things that were going to be taking place before his coming back the second time. So now we're at the point where all these things are happening, meaning they're speaking because they're actually put in motion. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, which proves by these prophecies really coming the way they're coming, that we're at the very end now. Because the end days began 2,000 years ago when Yahweh Shai came on the scene. But we're at the very end of the end days. You know, like during the Middle Ages, it was the medieval times. The middle of the evil times, or the word evil being EV, meaning age, and ill, meaning bad. Bad times. So we were in the middle of the bad ages, or the bad times. Now we're at the very end of those bad times. Okay? And that's why these prophecies are speaking and coming to pass. That's why a real leader's job is to bring out prophecies. You know, you bring out, things pertaining to the law and things pertaining, to different other, history and all that, to bring out certain points, because sometimes you do go into the history. But the main important thing that we're dealing right now is teaching about these prophecies. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So there was a point in time where it was tarrying. Nothing was happening. And that's why a lot of guys went back in the world.
Yeah, tarry means to wait.
Right. The word tarry means to wait. So when it started tarrying and nothing was happening, the YouTube hadn't been brought up yet. The word how it's being pushed out now into the four corners of the earth wasn't yet in full bloom, so to speak. So a lot of guys didn't see any progress going, so they went back in the world. But now the Lord said, though it tarry, wait for it will surely come, it will not tarry. So now we're at the point where it's not tarrying. It's coming out. And the reason why it has to come out is because until the Lord doesn't fulfill the measure of the prophecies that he spoke of, the end cannot come. So all these things have to happen. That's why the situation down there in Venezuela is happening. Hyperinflation. People are going nuts down there. They're going crazy. They screaming for the government and them to feed them.
That's what's coming here to America.
That's right. And that's what's coming here to America. That's see,